Hello, Karen here, Emerging Soul Tarot with your weekly Tree of Life read. Contemplated the three top Sephira. We've got Kether, Chochmah and Bina. So we've got the crown, the light coming down. We've got wisdom and we've got understanding, masculine, feminine. This week, at the end of the week on Saturday, there is a solar eclipse and a new moon. I think it's Saturday. I'll do a separate reading for that. But I think the cards are really showing this week that we need to reflect on some things in order to move through that and move on. Now, the astrological energies are very lovely this week in the main. They're kind of really supportive for any kind of last bits of work you need to do in terms of releasing on the eclipse. Okay, so I'll go through the top Sephiroth because they're the energies that are filtering down through the rest of the Sephira, and they're kind of higher contemplations for this week. So we have a very beautiful one in the crown chakra, and it's number 29, which is 11. The Beatitude of Sacred Rapture. Okay. So, Beatitude simply means the highest blessing. Simply. The highest blessing. And rapture, it's the state of intensely pleasurable joy. Okay, but it's meant to be there to lift you up to the sacred. Okay, so that's a beautiful energy to have with us, emanating down on us. This card, the messages of this card is about kind of really appreciating yourself, who you are. In fact, the whole message this week are reflections of how you see yourself and how others do, and how we need to let go of the things that, don't suit who we are spiritually. But this card in particular is about letting your true self be seen and searching for that deeper spiritual purpose and opportunity for healing if you're in the midst of conflict or suffering. But if you have been in any pain, this oracle is a message of joyful breakthrough. Okay, so quite major breakthrough this week. And as I said, that's, the culmination of this week is our eclipse. So, yeah, it's about your soul growing stronger and having faith in your wisdom, really. Complete faith in your wisdom. So that's a connection into the sacred, isn't it? I mean, we don't get that sense unless we're connected into divine. But when we feel that we're being fully seen and we're being loved and recognised for who we are, it's honouring to our true state. So we got all our quirkiness, our vulnerableness, uniqueness. We've got our light and our shadow, and when we're seen and fully loved in that, it is so empowering. This is what connection to spirit can do, because that's how you're seen by spirit, by divine. Yeah, perfect in all your imperfection. Yeah, all our imperfection. I could include myself in that. So this is about really connecting with spirit this week and opening to see yourself as you truly are. That might include some poopy things that you'd rather not look at, but it will also include your beauty, your power, your wisdom, your strength. Yeah, so don't go kind of pushing towards a list of what's wrong. You need to be open to everything, embrace the whole of you, okay? But it's about learning to love yourself, you know, and others, really. When we love ourselves like that, we love others, and we can become more generous with our forgiveness. And we're not tricked by ego, okay? So this week, this card, this oracle is kind of asking you to look at the vision of yourself or others. Not your vision of others, the vision others hold of you, okay? And what do you cling to, and what do you free yourself from? That's basically what this card is asking you for. So, you know, check yourself out. What are you hanging on to? We can sometimes be so conditioned by how we're seen because we've got a need for acceptance and love. So when we're put down, or we're conditioned to think we're powerless or we can't do things, then that's often a vision that we cling to, and it's totally untrue. Every person that walks this earth is very powerful, and we need to keep plumbing the depths of that, of our beauty and our power and our compassion and our love, okay? But what, you know, asking that, it's the unknown, isn't it? You know, if you ask spirit to show you who you really are, there's a kind of anxiety in that, because spirit, especially if you've done it before, you'll know spirit will show you exactly who you are. So this is interesting. It's from stage 5. It's crossing the threshold. The unknown is your friend. This is a 6. We got 2 numerologically 11s there, and we got a 6 here. So very interesting numerology for the read today. This is about, you know, standing on the shore of what you think you know, and feel the unknown kind of pulling you forward. So if this read resonates with you, it'll be a journey that you'll kind of want to take, but have that sort of edge of anxiety, and that's kind of normal and human. But yeah, up ahead, we're moving into a kind of foreign territory, okay? But Spirit is asking you, and this is the wisdom card, to open up and get inspired, to let go of the familiar, okay? Turn inside, connect with what you want to carry with you, and take only what's essential. And also just really understanding, getting an awareness that life is on your side, and that anything unknown is your friend. It's just a path, okay? It's very much in keeping with this one. It's having that vision of yourself and then saying, I'm going to walk forward with that. I know Spirit's got my back. I know that there's a way I need to go, and although I'm kind of nervous, I'm going to step forward. So especially this week, if you're looking at things, you know, you've been getting inspired with things to move out into the world, things to give, ways to serve, ways to be. This week is, you know, clear out everything that's holding you back from that, okay? And have a proper vision, because that sacred rapture is a stunning kind of promise of divine connection, meeting. So beautiful cards. And then in order to look at ourselves properly, openly, embrace it. That's part of the unknown, but it's also we don't find ourselves, look at ourselves, see ourselves, to sit there and kind of enjoy it, although we can. We need to enjoy it, we need to reflect on it. But it's also so that we can go out into the world, so that we can, sort of encourage others on that path of descending to your soul, connecting with your soul, connecting with the divine, and serving out of that. And that's fearless. That's a kind of fearlessness. And another 11 there, 38 is 11. The courage of your love. Now this is in Bina, it's understanding. So it's that understanding, and this is not a rational, logical thing. This is a heartfelt, this is the feminine Sephiroth. So it's a heartfelt understanding. And this card, again, I mean, very much like this, it's kind of going into the unknown, the shadow, the kind of more difficult realms. You can see there's a similarity from both of that, but there's light there, okay? It's this card, in a sense, is about freeing your heart from fear, a fearful mind. And if you've been in the process of doing that, you've been in initiation. That's one of the first steps of spiritual initiation, is that freeing your heart from those effects of a fearful mind. That's stepping into the unknown. But it's a spiritual initiation, but it's to open you out to understand the power that's innate within you and the power that's around you, okay? But yeah, we have a lot of, we face it and then we lapse, and we face it and we lapse, and that's fine. We all have that, lots of lapses, before our heart is strong enough to overpower any old patterns, and to surrender to that unknown, to that rapture, to that the unfamiliar. So yeah, it is about surrendering, freeing and surrendering your heart, okay? So, and that pattern of when you love, when you're younger, you love, and you kind of, it's a clingy love, it's a holding on love, it's kind of quite a self-centered love when you're young. This is about your love maturing. So it could be, it could be freeing the people you love, letting go of the people you love, not literally, although it could be, but metaphorically, allowing them to go, whether they're here or they've passed. It's about that freeing their energy from your heart, freeing them. And with children, this can be so difficult, but sometimes we got to take that step and just, love them enough to free them, let them go, even if they're doing what we perceive to be harmful things or difficult things. Is a sense of just let them go, let them find their way. That's mature love. Mature love lets the things it loves and holds dear go free to find its own way. Okay. And the other thing, the other message of this oracle is not to give in to less than your worth. Okay, and again it goes back to these two. Don't give in to those stories or words that have shamed you. you know, either from other people in your life or from our culture, okay? It's kind of negating who you are, the beauty of who you are when you do that. So don't give in to them. They're actually lies. They're lies about you and they're deceptions, okay? And wherever they come from, you need to let those go too this week. Let those, and I'm not saying that is any way easy, but the understanding is that when you let those things go, when you let them pass through, you then start stepping into your true power, your true self, who you really are, okay? So don't give in to less than what you are. You're powerful, you're beautiful, you know, spirit looks at you with the eyes of love, beauty, wholeness, okay? And it talks about with this oracle the lamb and the lion, and it basically says roar at that, you know, metaphorically roar, go and roar literally at those words and those things that reduce your worth. Don't allow your worth to be reduced. We are not lambs going to the slaughter, we're lions in that sense. So a sense of being lion-hearted, you know, having that roar, having that fire even. So I'll pull, they're very beautiful cards and they're very poignant. So I don't think we've actually this week, you know, are supposed to go out and take action on them that way. I feel this is reflection and inner on your self-worth, on who you actually are, and letting go of all those fears, worries, cruel words, demeaning things that have happened to us that reduce us and reduce our sense of, you know, being regal like a lion, being strong, being loved and raptured by the divine, by all that is, yeah, open. So I'm going to pull Hesed, which is loving kindness, it's overflow, and Gebra, which is kind of the container, and we'll see what we have. So spirit, oh, there it is. Oh, okay, yeah, end of things, people. Discard there in Hesed. And a learning card in Gebra. Okay, so that's, yeah, kind of going with what I was saying. So this unknown is your friend. What's coming down to that is maybe death of what is familiar. Familiar ways of looking at yourself. Familiar ways of relating to yourself. Familiar ways of being in the world, really. And then paired with that is this Page of Pentacles. A Page of Pentacles is that kind of learning. It's that, you know, observing the world, observing how you are in the world, how you appear in the world, how you present and show up in the world, okay? And learning the things that are just not showing your authentic self or the beauty of yourself. So I'll pull Tiferet, which is the sixth Sephirah, and it's love, harmony, beauty, and it's kind of like the heart in the body. Here we are, yeah, balance. Pentacles again. So yeah, so far you know, we're being asked to look towards endings and new beginnings within the world. Balance, giving and receiving. Look in your heart. Where are you just giving out and giving out and giving out, and you're, you know, you're returned with judgment, or you're returned with bad words and feeling bad. You know, where are those areas where you feel you're forever giving and not receiving? Because, you know, we can, and I'm talking about children again, but we can give and give and give to our children because our heart is, we want them to be the best of who they can be. We want them to avoid too much suffering, to avoid too much pain, okay? But if you're doing that and you are not having the same respect, the same love, the same, you know, that borders on spoiling. Okay, I'm not talking about really young children, I'm talking about older children. But you can apply that to any position in your life, you know, any person in your life, any situation in your life. If you are giving and giving and you are not receiving back, either directly, because sometimes the receiving back comes from other avenues, you've got to question, is your energy well spent there? And do I need to balance this off? Where do I need to receive? So that there's that kind of energy of give and take. Because we don't always want to be receiving or taking, and we don't always want to be giving. And we don't want to get that attitude that we know best, that kind of self-righteous giving. So it's finding that balance in that give and take. And it is a 6, so the 6th Sephiroth has a 6. So this week, find that balance in your heart in terms of, you know, where you're spending your energy, where you're, you know, you're giving out and, you know, perhaps spoiling or overcompensating or almost trying to make yourself feel better. Sorry, that's really harsh words, but it's what's coming to my mind. But yeah, are we giving out to kind of make ourselves feel better or make our you know, is it our ego? Is it an ego giving, or is that giving? I always check, and we all do it. We all give out of kind of expecting something back or expecting, you know, a sense of your self-worth hiring. That's kind of quite human. But a good way to check that I find is there a flow coming in? It may not be directly from the situation you're giving, but are you getting a flow? Are you receiving a flow? Or are you being depleted? Because if you're being depleted, there's an imbalance there. So you need to look, is it your mind, your heart, your emotional? Is there something out of balance? Is it the situation or person that you're giving in that will take until you're so drained you're empty? Because we got to give out of our overflow. If you're not giving out of overflow and you're depleted, then there's imbalance. So this week you can reflect on that. I'll pull Netsatch and Hod. The 7th Netsatch is it's splendor, glory, but it's kind of your out facing, your face out in the world, I see it as. And Hod is like the intellect, so, but the feminine intellect. So can I have Netsatch and Hod, please, Spirit? Netsatch and Hod, please. Yeah, it's all about, you know, having that self-worth this week. And that's honouring yourself, honouring the divine, honouring your ancestors, honouring others, really, when we honour ourselves. Love yourself, then you love out of that overflow of divine strength. That's what we need this week, some strength. Leo energy. Yeah, and we've got messages coming. We've got almost like a divine intervention coming. Okay, so in Netsatch, our face out in the world, we may need to be strong this week to bring to an end the things that are depleting our energy, that we're not learning from, we're not growing from, we're not learning how to be, we're not understanding. Things where cycles are finished, there's death here. It's an end of cycle, and the only reason we have that is because there's got to be new beginnings. So we're going to need that strength, and that's not brute force. Okay, it's fire energy, and we got fire in both these sephira here. Okay, so it's both fire energies. It is not brute force. There's a gentleness there. Okay, there's a real gentleness there. So it's kind of speak your truth in love. If you feel you're being taken from, if you feel that your energies are depleted and you need to remove yourself from a person or a situation, speak your truth in love. Be authentic. Put an end to those cycles. Because I have a feeling in 2022 we're going to need all our reserves of energy, and especially if you're in any kind of spiritual journey, spiritual walk, and I guess if you're watching this you must be, because it's all I bang on about. So if you are, I think 2022 is the year that we're going to need our energy reserves. We're going to need to embody that beautiful sacred connection, yeah, so that we can put out in the world, you know, embody, be conduits, bring spirit into us so we can serve out of us. Yeah, and I think if you got any doubts this week, you're going to get the vision, the illumination, you're going to get these 8 arrows of fire. And what's interesting here is she's got the infinity, the 8 infinity symbol. They're both 8s, okay? We got the 7th and 8th. This is wisdom and understanding for you, okay? So if you're fearful of that unknown ending, the unknown beginning, you're going to receive, if you open your heart and you take that step. Spirit won't do it for you, won't override your free will. You need to take that step and do that, and you're going to get that spiritual message, support, illumination, vision. That's going to be the beginning of going forward, okay? So beautiful. And I'll pull Yesod, which is the unity, the coming together, this spirit and material, masculine, feminine. It's where all the tree filters in. It's like the astral, it's what's above our head. And I'll pull Malkuth, which is our world, this pentacle world. I won't take those because they just... Oh! I won't take those either. There's about half the pack there. Sorry, people. Okay, so spirit. I'm getting excited. Yesod and Malkuth, please, spirit. Yesod and Malkuth. There you go. So that came first. Okay, Yesod. Yesod, Virgo energy, the Hermit. This Hermit really is someone who can see with that light. He's got this, the Merkaba, the Star of David, the 6-pointed star, which is actually this union, okay? And that's what illuminates him. He is someone, this energy is an energy of seeing spirit in the material. Hermits go look at the horizon, they see the sun, they see the sky, they see the land or the sea, but what they're looking at is the illumination from what's in between that, where it's married, okay? So this week you're going to have the ability to do that if you open up and if you have the courage to step out in the unknown. Yeah, look at this. We got in our world, we got this beautiful, this kind of reminds me of the cosmic energies this week, or the majority of them. It's a kind of playful, loving supportive energy. Okay, it's quite a young energy, so it's okay. We're okay not to have all the answers, not to be, not to be amazing at what we're doing in the world. It's kind of like step out, just smell the coffee, have a taste of the honey, but you don't have to eat the whole meal. This week is reflection of what you need to let go to be able to do that later on down the line. So yeah, emotions, he's a playful young energy, but it's a loving energy. It's a beautiful energy. So that's what we have expressing out in our world. And I'm guessing in Malkuth, these are the energies that we're going to have around us. And, there may be that there are contrasts where you have people in your lives who give you that feeling, where you feel you can be vulnerable and you can kind of not have all the answers. Which card was it? This one. You can be your true self. The energies are going to be around, and you may have the contrast of that. Being around people who support you, who understand you, who are not judging you, who are allowing you to be your authentic self in all its glory, with all its vulnerability, weaknesses, strengths, beauty, but just embracing you as you are. You may have those people, there may be that synchronicity this week through the week where you have those people who are doing that contrasted with the people who constantly take or belittle you or make you doubt yourself, so I feel there's going to be some clarity for that. And you're going to need strength, those messages of where your energies are, so that you can see what spirit is saying to you through the material things you meet, through your interactions with others, through your workplace, whatever situations and people. But I think you're going to need strength to see that, to speak up and end the things within yourself and externally that are going to continue to deplete your energy further on down the line. Okay. So from the 3 top cards, for me, this message has gone a bit of a different way than I expected it to. But it's very clear. We got 2 pages here, so there's that sense of spirit going, it's okay, you're learning. So whatever you see this week, don't come in judgment of yourself, okay? Because this crown is saying it's okay. You're going to get that healing. You're going to see yourself in all your beauty. And you're going to be enveloped and embraced. Yeah, but we need to open to that. Face those fears. So I'm going to pull us an Untethered soul card to wrap the message up. I think we're on 3313 as I look, just checking out where we were at. These readings are always longer, but no apologies here for those. Okay. Let's have a look. I think I got one out the wrong way up in here. Right. Okay, so we've got, can you see that? Awakening consciousness. That's perfect for this, okay? All these things about self, and one of these cards, forgotten which one now, vision of ourselves, yeah? What is the vision we cling on to of ourselves, or that others have told us we are, okay? Here it is. To awaken your consciousness, know you are not your thoughts. You're simply aware of your thoughts, okay? So when people we love or care about, or people that we have to interact with make us feel small, they can become thoughts, and they can kind of become our inner critic. and they can deplete that beautiful vision of who we actually are. Okay, so allow those things to come, this people. Don't shy away from them, and reflect on them, and reflect on where your energy will be best spent next year, because we got this eclipse that we can just release those things, put an end to those kind of self-defeating cycles they are. Yeah, so the energy is going to be there for you, and it's beautiful energy this week that's around, and you'll see. I really believe that you'll see what needs to end this eclipse. All right, I hope that was helpful. Hope something resonated. If you watched it till the end, well done. And if you're not already, subscribe and like, share if you feel it'll be useful. And yeah, as always, welcome your lovely comments. It's nice to know that what I do is helpful. Okay, lots of love to you all. Have a lovely week. Bye bye.